Quick message to all our viewers before we get started on today's video. It has come to our attention that over 90% of our regular viewers are not subscribed to the channel. We request you to please click the subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can be notified when the next video from Mythology is out. The bigger the channel gets, the better the quality of videos that we do for you also gets. So please help us make some amazing videos by supporting the channel and clicking that subscribe button. Thank you. Now over to the video. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mythology with your host Nitin Nair. In our last episode, we looked at the Mesoamerican or Aztec god Mixcoatl, who was a bloodthirsty god who literally governed many of the aspects of the lives of the Aztecs on a daily basis. In this episode, we figured we'd not stray too far, but just move from South America or Mesoamerica slightly into the Pacific and talk about the Polynesian cultures and civilizations, and especially focus on the Hawaiian Islands and their god of agriculture, Lono. One of the most common stories in Hawaiian folklore is about Lono, who is a fertility and music god who came to earth to marry Laka. In traditional planting and agricultural traditions, he was regarded as a food and a grain god. He was one of the four gods that existed before the world was made, alongside Kane, Kanaloa, and Kane's twin brother. During the annual festival of Makahiki, which was held from October through February, war and unnecessary work were kapu, or forbidden. The winter storms that frequently hit the islands of Hawaii are often associated with Lono. In terms of Hawaiian weather, the storms that bring rain to certain areas are referred to as Lono Makua, which literally means Lono the provider. During the various ceremonies held during Makahiki, the Luakini, which is a temple dedicated to Ku, was dedicated to the strict kapus. Following the separation of Papa and Rangi, Lono used a net to catch the moon and sun and send them into orbit. When it came to creating humans, he gave his brother Ku the fertile soil to nourish their bodies. Kane then used his brother's body to breathe life into the humans. Lono loved to surf and rainbow, which is how he met Kaikilani. Their relationship was intense and he would frequently be jealous of her. He also believed that she was unfaithful once, so he would often strike her down using his divine powers. Lono is also known as Lono Nui Noho I Kawai. In old Hawaii, people offered prayers to Lono for bountiful harvests, adequate rainfall, and protection from famine and droughts. During the annual Makahiki festival, which was held in honor of Lono, people offered their blessings at Haya Ipu or Hale o Lono. These were constructed at the boundary of the Ahupuawa. In addition to heavy rain, thunder, and lightning, Lono is also represented by earthquakes, water sprouts, whirlwinds that sweep the earth, and flowing springs on the mountains. Some of the other kinolau that are associated with Lono include the red fish, the white fish, black coconut, and awa. Many chants refer to the rain clouds as kino of Lono. The cultivation of sweet potato lands, which were dependent on winter rains, was also associated with Lono in his form, which was referred to as Kamapua'a. In humorous terms, ancestors of modern Hawaiians call the humble Uala the droppings of Kamapua'a. One of the stories that is related to Lono is the story of James Cook, an English explorer who was the first European to visit the islands of Hawaii. Upon his arrival, people assumed that he was the god Lono, so they escorted him to their temple. This confirmation of his presence proved to the people that he was indeed Lono. The Hawaiians believed that Lono would supposedly die and then leave them. When Cook went back to the islands, the Hawaiians killed him to ensure that Lono would also die as he was supposed to, as per their myths. The Hawaiian mythology is really unique because it all centers around four brothers and their parents who eventually ended up creating everything that the humans need, including the humans themselves. This kind of approach, where one family governed everything, has been seen in other mythologies as well, but none as prominent as the Polynesian cultures. As we go along on our journey, we will be exploring a lot more of these characters from Hawaii and Polynesia who have really made a mark in the culture of the people. The tragic case of James Cook is an example of how uncharted islands who were inhabited by indigenous tribes literally took explorers to be their gods or version of the gods, and eventually ended up not only worshipping but or even being sent to the other end of the spectrum, like James Cook was, where the mythology stated that Lono would die to bring more abundance to the people, so he was killed because he was mistaken to be one of their gods. We will be looking at a lot more similar characters in the days to come, but until then, drop us a like, a subscribe, a comment, or even just tell your friends about Mythloke and the huge journey that we are on and which you are already a part of. Thank you very much. This is your host, Nitin Nair, signing off by reminding you once again that Mythloke is the home of mythology.